Hey, how you guys doing? This is your boy Nathan Salter back with another video for my single brothers and sisters out there. Listen, I am going to be talking today about before the blender. Now, I know you're probably saying to yourself, what in the world is before the blender start? Well, I am going to be able to talk a little bit about some of the things that need to take place before the blender. Now, the reason why I'm going to use this analogy today is because I'm looking at relationships the same way as I look at when I make my smoothies in the morning. All right, so what I have here is my little take with me smoothie. I put some kale, some bananas, some blueberries. I use water. Some people use almond milk, whatever, and other type of drink. I just use water for mine. I also put almonds in mine to get a little bit of protein with that. Now, and I put all that together in the blender, right? Now watch this. This is what it looks like after it's all blended together, all right? And I've gotten used to drinking this over and over again. And this kind of gets my vegetables in, but I want you to see what it looks like after it's in the blender. This is what it looked like after it's in the blender. Before the blender, I had my banana, I had my kale or spinach, I had that separate. And when I looked at each of those items, I said to myself, wow, each of these items, before it goes in the blender, it already has its own purpose. It already has its own value. It already is making a difference by itself. It already has its own identity. It's not, if it wasn't in the blender, it still can stay on the shelf and have value. All right, each of those items that I put in this blender has value. Guess what? When I went to the store to buy this stuff, they were all in its own separate area. I went, got my kale. I paid money just for the kale, which means that kale alone has value. Went, got my bananas. When I got my bananas, I paid for the bananas alone because the banana alone has value. Then I bought my water. Water alone has value. Then I went and bought my blueberries. Those have value by itself. What I'm trying to say is that before I joined them together, they brought value individually. This is how single people need to be looking at relationships and marriage. We need to have and know our value before we even try to jump in the relationship. So the relationship and the marriage that I'm talking about today, I'm using the term blender because basically you have I have one big, and many of you know what a blender is. You have the one big blender, and I put all those items in that one blender. All right. Now, before I turn the power on, those items are together, but they're not joined as one yet. All right, so this is where it talks about the two shall become one. They shall become one flesh. And when that blender gets turned on, both of those items, they fuse together and they produce a whole nother look. This right here, what's so funny about this is that when you look at the smoothie I'm about to drink, if it was just in the store, you can tell that it's something, but you probably can't tell what's in it until you taste it. All right, now the cool thing about the tasting part that I love about this smoothie is that every time I taste this smoothie, every time I drink it every morning, I can still taste the banana flavor. I can still taste the kale flavor. I can still taste the blueberry flavor. I can taste everything that I put in before everything that I put in. It still has its own potency in it, which means it did not lose its identity in the blending. So most people think when they get in a relationship that they got to lose their identity. That is not how relationships work. It's what you bring your scent, you bring your value into the blending. And then when that thing blends, you create a whole nother taste, a whole nother style of living. And this is why a lot of, when you look at how relationships work, many people talk about, man, marriage don't work this day. Marriage is not the problem. It's the people that go into marriage is the problem. The institution of marriage is not the problem. When I get married and if things don't work out, because guess what? We're in a society today that you can't control that under individual. But if things didn't work out, guess what? The reason why it didn't work out is because I got some issues or she has some issues. And we got into the blender and our issues created more of a mess than it was when we were individually. And this is why people jump out of relationships. So before I go in, I'm trying to make sure I can be the best kale. I'm trying to make sure I can be the best banana. I make sure I can find my value first. So when I go in that blender, I want to make sure that my scent adds value to the overall taste of the new smoothie that we're going to make in the relationship. All right. So this is why it takes prayerful thought. It takes taking your time trying to choose the person you want to go in this blender with, because you are going to produce a smoothie together. And if that smoothie don't taste right, it's not the smoothie. It's the ingredients you put in the smoothie that makes it taste sour. So if you get a smoothie that is good, it is a result that the things and the ingredients you put in that smoothie is what made it good. It wasn't the smoothie itself. So marriage itself is a beautiful institution. If you get two happy single people who know their purpose and their value, and they get into a relationship together, and then they say, listen, let's create one purpose together and focus on that as a couple, you can come out with a banging smoothie relationship. All right. If you get one sour banana or one sour kale, let's say the kale is expired and it's already sour before I even put it in, and I take a fresh banana. When I put that sour kale with that fresh banana and I put it in that blender and I turn the blender on, and when I taste it, I'm going to still taste that sourness of the kale, even though I do taste the freshness of the banana. I hope you get what I'm saying. So yes, a lot of relationships are still together, but there's a sourness to it because they did not take the time in their singleness to say, wait a minute, I need to make sure that I am bringing the best quality into this relationship. This is what I'm all about. If any of you want to know, okay, who is this dude on this YouTube and stuff? I've heard about him. I've heard he's been doing single seminars and stuff. Yes, this is my whole message is to try to get single people to learn how to bring value to the relationship. Most people are trying to jump into marriage relationships and they're not taking care of their personal development. So this is why I waited the amount of years I've waited before I jumped the broom, is because I said, listen, I gotta be responsible for me. I gotta make sure that I am not bringing sour stuff into the relationship. I'm not saying perfect, but there should be some stuff that I need to be bringing. So this is what I'm all about. So I love encouraging other single people to stop wasting time talking about when I get married, my life will be better. Listen, your marriage is only as good as your singleness. If you are amazing in your singleness, you will be amazing in your marriage. However, the other piece to it is that you got to find another person who know their value. And when they bring their value and you bring your value, and then you come up with a good tasting smoothie. That's this good smoothies is only a result, again, like I said, of the ingredients you put in it. So this is why choosing the person that we marry is so important. We can't just choose a person based on attraction. Attraction is the thing that we, and I think I do a video on that, so definitely check it out. But attraction is huge, but again, the attraction is the draw. But you want to see what is inside that person, because that is what's going to come out in the blender. All right, so before you go into the blender, check yourself. Get yourself to the place where you start to love you. Get yourself to the place where you know your purpose, your value. Start creating value now while you're single, so when you go into the marriage, you are joining values with another valuable individual, and then you create a whole new set of values. And that's really how it works. So I hope this helps somebody out. Before the blender, make sure that you are a valuable item before you get into the blender. That's really what this video is about. And I hope you share this video, because there's too many single people who are sitting back talking about, I want to get in a relationship. I can't wait to get in a relationship. I'm dying to get in a relationship. And guess what? They're not in one. Every one they get into, it either fall apart, it breaks apart, the person leaves them. And the reason why the person is leaving them, because the person realized you are sour kale. I dated you a little bit, and I'm realizing I don't know if I want to jump in the blender with you, because I may not produce a good smoothie with you. So again, you raising your value is huge, because again, it puts you in a better position to be able to find somebody else that's valuable that you can create a new taste with. That's really what this is about. All right. So again, start working the value that you have right now. Start walking with the confidence. Start knowing your purpose. Start knowing your likes, dislikes. Know your weaknesses, your strengths. Start knowing you, so you know exactly what you're bringing to the table. Listen, I do these things called purpose parties. I do these things, purpose parties, for singles, for young people. If you want one of these type of seminars right where you are, listen, all you got to do is just bring me in. You be the host, bring me in, get about 15 of your friends, and we can be at your house, whatever, and we can do a purpose party. I got one coming up next week. I'm so excited, and we're going to talk about some cool stuff. All right. But again, if you want that, hit me up on my website, nathansalter.org. If you want any more information about any of my seminars, whatever, please go on my YouTube channel. I put some some free stuff on there. You can check that stuff out, or go to my website, nathansalter.org, or order my books, whatever you want to do. But again, my passion is to help single people find value within themselves, all right, before we get into the blender. That's really what I am here to share, because again, I know what it's like to look for a relationship to make me better, and that is not what's going to happen. The relationship actually exposes who you really are. So I hope you take a note of that. Tell all your single friends, again, check this out. And again, I'm looking forward to seeing you soon. And again, subscribe, because if you subscribe to this channel, I'm going to be doing some giveaways soon. I'm going to be giving away some stuff. I'm going to be doing prizes. So listen, subscribe quick so you can be a part of that, all right? Much love, guys. Hit me up if you want me to come where you are. If you want to get more information on me, go to my website. I'm looking forward to talking with you soon, and be on the lookout for some more cool videos. I got some more cool things I'm going to share with you, all right? Much love. God bless you. Peace.